since she likes your attention, she wants more and more and more attention. But she doesn't really like you. She likes the attention you give her. Click the link below to get the ebook Looks Don't Matter, 7 Ways to Attract Women Without Your Looks, or go straight to mr.locario.com right now to get your copy today. Learn how to have relationships with multiple women by clicking the link below and get the How to Have a Successful Non-Monogamous Relationship audio program. Worst one, the third one. This is the worst. And I don't want any of you guys to ever be in this situation. This is the worst. So now the third extremely negative thing that could happen when dating women who don't like you is you could end up getting a false grape accusation. You could end up getting a false grape accusation. You know what I mean by grape, because we're on YouTube. So a lot of you guys who think it's cute to chase women who don't like you, understand that you can get yourself into a situation where you could have a false grape accusation. Now, how does this happen? This happens because you are dealing with the woman who doesn't like you, but she's giving you attention and interacting with you because she likes your attention, right? So what happens is that since she likes your attention, she wants more and more and more attention, but she doesn't really like you. She likes the attention you give her. So what happens is sometimes that attention can turn into a situation where a sexual situation can happen. So meaning, let's say the girl doesn't really like you, but you went out with her on 3 dates. You took her out to dinner. Y'all went to go get ice cream. Y'all went to do all this other extra shit. Y'all went out on a bunch of dates, and then you invite her to your house. Now, she doesn't really want to have sex with you, but she, reluctantly comes over anyway because why? She wants more attention. You see what I'm saying? And so now what's going to happen is she's over your house, and one scenario could be she's over your house and you're trying to get it in. You're trying to make it happen. You're trying to be on some sex shit. Now, what could happen is that because she doesn't really want to do it, right? She is going to let you know, hey, I'm not really trying to do this. I'm not really ready for all that. And you're going to get that resistance. Now, you're supposed to stop when that happens. But no, this is what's going to happen. You're going to try to, because a lot of guys I hear and I see do this nonsense. You're going to try to convince her to have sex, or try to convince her, hey, but come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's make this happen, blah, blah, blah. Right? And then so what happens is that because she wants more attention, she may not actually leave at that moment. She may not say, hey, look, I got to go, whatever. She might still stick around. She's still hanging out with you. She's still watching a Netflix show you got on the TV. Y'all are still sort of flirting and kissing a little bit. But every time you're trying to get her to the bedroom, and she's like, no, I don't really want to do that. Right? Now, remember, you are supposed to stop when this is happening. And see, you don't realize she's not really that sexually attracted to you or not sexually attracted to you at all. So then what happens is, let's say you try again, and then y'all end up having sex, right? So you think you convinced her to have sex. But in this scenario, she had sex with you because she thought if she didn't have sex with you, then it was going to be a problem. Meaning, she thought if she didn't have sex with you, that she may be in danger. You understand? So sometimes a woman is in a predicament to where she knows the guy wants to have sex, but her intention was just to get attention. But now it's gotten to the point where she's scared that if she says no, you probably could do some harm to her. So then what she does is she gives in and just has the sex, but then she later, when she leaves, regrets it. Why? Because she never wanted to have sex with you. Why? Because she didn't like you in the first place. Right? And you saw this because she wasn't giving you 100% cooperation. Remember, if a woman is interested in you, she's going to give you 100% cooperation. Any resistance is a form of disinterest. You see what I'm saying? So this is why I tell you guys to only deal with women, right? And only be sexual with women who are 100% cooperation, who are 100% cooperative. Remember, I told you guys, you should be at an 8 and she should be at a 10. You understand? You should be at an 8. She should be at a 10, meaning she should want it more than you. She should be cooperating 100% the whole way through. Now, what happens is that you also have scenarios where, you're dealing with a chick and let's say for whatever reason, you end up having sex, but she doesn't really like you like that. So let's say you've spent a lot of time talking to her, taking her out, doing all this other stuff. She ends up having sex with you, right? But she doesn't really like you like that. And then what happens is let's say you, because, you like to show receipts and brag, you start bragging to your friends at school. She goes to your school. You start talking about it on social media. You start, yapping your mouth and, yo, yeah, I smashed so-and-so and all this other shit. Now, it gets back to her. She realizes you're talking about smashing her. And because she doesn't want to be seen as a slut, what is she going to do? She's going to throw you under the bus. She's going to throw you under the bus. She might say, oh, well, I wasn't really in my right mind. I was drunk. I feel like I was taken advantage of. Now, why is she saying this? It's because you've been talking all this shit, bragging, doing all this other stuff. And because she doesn't really like you and she wants to save face, she's going to make it seem like you're the bad guy, even though at the time it could have been 100% consensual. But because she doesn't really like you, and she did it because maybe you took her out on 3-4 dates or whatever, she's like, fuck it, I'll have sex with him, right? What'll happen is that because you're bragging and then putting her business out there, she would rather you look like the bad guy than for her to look like the slut. See, what you guys have to understand is this. When a woman doesn't like you, she doesn't care about you. This is something else you guys got to understand. And I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying. When a woman doesn't like you, she doesn't care about you. What do I mean by she doesn't care about you? What I mean is that she doesn't care about your well-being. She doesn't care about what happens to you. She doesn't care about your life. And so what happens is that she has no problem throwing you under the bus. You see what I'm saying? She has no problem saying you did something that you didn't do. See, all you guys are to worry about, oh, well, what if a chick says this and Me Too and this? That's because you're dealing with women who don't like you. That whole Me Too movement, a lot of it was guys who are in positions of power who dealt with women who didn't like them. Right? And they put them in situations and positions where the women were like, you know what, fuck it. I guess I got to do this to get this role. I got to do this to get this job. I got to do this to get this money. But they didn't really like that motherfucker. And because they didn't really like that motherfucker, they ended up doing shit they didn't really want to do. And then what happens is after the fact, even though they made the decision to do the thing they did, what'll happen is because they don't like you and they don't care about you, they'll say, oh, well, I felt pressured. I didn't want to do it. He made me do it, or whatever else that comes along. And that type of energy, that type of conversation, that type of talking point, that type of, energy comes out because she never liked you. You guys, you see how important it is to deal with women who actually fuck with you, who actually like you, who actually give a shit. Because if the girl don't care about you, she doesn't care what happens to you. She doesn't care about your reputation. She doesn't care if you get locked up for her lies. She don't care about none of that shit. You see what I'm saying? So you have to do the due diligence to make sure that the woman you're dealing with actually likes you. Exactly. You said this is why you say that game saves lives. Exactly. Because if you don't have game, you're going to make these fucking mistakes dealing with these women who don't like you, that you could potentially put yourself in a situation that you don't want to be in. You understand what I'm saying? This is why we tell you guys game is important. This is why we tell you guys don't point the finger at women and blame women and all this other stuff, because you as a man, you have to be the one to discern whether or not you're dealing with a woman who is cooperative or who's not, dealing with a woman who respects you or who doesn't respect you. And the thing is that a lot of you guys, because you want pussy so bad, you're willing to put yourselves in positions dealing with women who don't like you that can cause these type of situations to happen. This is why when guys talk about, yo, I'm gonna get my money up to get these women, you fucking up, because you trying to get your money up to get women is you potentially attracting a woman who is with you for your money, which means she is fucking with you because of the money. That means she doesn't fuck with you because she likes you. She likes the money. She likes the clout. She likes the status, but she don't like you, which means she don't give a shit about you, which means she don't care, which means that if at any point she feels slighted, she feels like, okay, there was a story the other day I saw where this chick had a dude who was a sugar daddy, right? And what happened was, I think she asked the sugar daddy for like 2 G's or some shit. And either he didn't have the money or he didn't want to give her 2 G's or something like that. So this fucking woman went and poured like a bunch of bleach all over his head or some shit and basically damn near blinded the guy. So I'm not sure if he's all the way blind or halfway blind or something, but she poured some bleach all over his head. The shit got in his eyes and damn near blinded this motherfucker. You understand? And see, that happened. Why? Because she was dealing with a guy who she didn't like.
Now, before you go, click the link below and go to badboymembership.com. Now, badboymembership.com is a place where you go to get 45 through 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month. Listen, I know you're tired of being rejected. Go to badboymembership.com. I know you're tired of being afraid to approach women. Go to badboymembership.com. I know you're tired of not getting the women that you want. Go to badboymembership.com. Listen, I know you're tired of being alone on a Friday night. Go to badboymembership.com. Now picture this. You'll go from not getting what you want when it comes to you dealing with women to actually getting what you want, to being the guy women want to be with, women want to date, women want to have sex with. All you need to do is go to badboymembership.com, follow the steps, learn the game, implement the game, and then you will get the woman you want. Make sure you go to badboymembership.com today. Click the link below.
Click the link below or go straight to mr.locario.com to get the documentary Game Kings, The Definition of Game.